fan, but they're not.
Well, I know they're not. I'm just saying some people really like. They're just in love with the '80s. But oh well, it is what it is. All right, I think we're good to go. All right, how's it going, guys? We're back. This is episode 21 of the Film Planet podcast. I'm your host of it all,
Jamal.
And today we're going to be breaking down the new Robin Hood trailer. And then we're going to be talking about John Woo and Lupita Nyong'o. They have a new movie rebooting. What's the movie called again? The Killer. And then we're going to I'm going to pick his brain about some Infinity War tidbits that were in the movie and then some theories based off of that. So right at the beginning, at the top, this will have spoilers now. It's been, 2 weeks now?
Yeah, you should have saw it by now.
So you should have. If you were listening to this podcast for that purpose, you probably have already seen the movie. So with that being said, let's talk about the trailer because trailers are usually not much in there. So Robin Hood, we knew about this movie being made for a while. Starring Ty Edgerton, right?
Taron Egerton. He's from Kingsman. He's the lead Eggsy.
And then, of course, everyone's familiar with Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, Academy Award winning Jamie Foxx, but boy, has he been in a slump. I mean, I'm just being real. Like,
he's been doing too many side character roles lately. When's the last time he starred in something other than that police movie he did?
You think Katie Holmes kind of kills productivity? Because Tom Cruise kind of went in a slump.
Oh, he's dating Katie Holmes?
Rumored. I don't know. We're Hollywood. We're not a gossip site, but
I just that was him trying to be a joke.
Yeah, but
that was his weird version of a joke. No, I don't know.
The trailer itself, though, we get it off subject because that's such an odd couple.
Yeah, it don't make no sense. Anyways, continue. I'm sorry, you're wrong.
I don't go for it. Okay. I guess we laughing about that because that is an odd couple, bro. Not even odd ugly. It's just an odd couple, Okay. So we basically based on the review, it looked just like King Arthur and Legend of the Sword, which came out in 2017.
So it was last year, yeah.
It was last year. It was early last year, and it looks. I'm not gonna say the action does look a little better, but it looks just like that movie.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, it looks like I'd almost call it Legolas the movie. Yeah. Like the way he was shooting the bow, I was like, "What is this? Guy Ritchie's version of Legolas?" Even though it's Robin Hood, I'm just saying, it was just. It didn't look terrible. What I'm saying is just it looked generic.
Super generic.
Because it's Robin Hood, and the story's been told so many times. You can get weird with it and just kind of have fun.
And the clothes was kind of hip, a little too hip.
Yeah, it kind of is this in the right time zone? Because it almost looked like they borrowed from the TV show Arrow. They look the same. The way the hood rolls, the mask, everything. We're not really trying to knock it. We're just saying for a reboot, it seems very generic, and
it's super generic.
Especially a story that everyone knows, everyone's familiar with. You want to come at it with something different. Even the casting, not sound bad or anything, but King Arthur had its one best friend that was a black guy.
Yeah,
and apparently this one does too, just based off the trailer.
Little John.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously looks like Jamie Foxx probably the role was changed a little bit, where he trained Robin Hood.
They paid him good for that.
That's what I'm saying. But it's one of those things. It looks generic. It's gonna be a movie that you and I we go to watch. We're gonna probably enjoy it
and then forget about it.
After we eat. We'll laugh about it and have fun. Literally just kind of like King Arthur. We're like, wasn't bad, wasn't good. It was fun while we were there for that hour and a half. We left. Yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen it, check out the trailer. It looks action packed. A lot of explosions and weird tank things in a time where there were no tank things.
Yeah, I mean, it's like he said, it's generic and weird. They trying to hip it, but
it just doesn't seem like the right direction to go for a story everyone and their mother knows.
Yeah,
everyone at some point in their childhood has read a Robin Hood storybook or watched it in an English class.
I even heard a reference of it.
Yeah, everyone knows who Robin Hood. It's kind of like Mario and Mickey Mouse. At this,
Yeah.
everyone knows who that is. But yeah, check out the trailer. It's about 2 minutes long. It's an action flick. Turn off your brain and enjoy it. And the second piece of it is
speaking of action flicks.
Speaking of action legends, really.
One of them is. One of them is trying to find their footing.
Yeah.
In the action realm.
But it is John Woo and I'm gonna mess up her name, so please say
Lupita Nyong'o.
There we go. They're remaking the Killer, and I don't know if anyone's familiar with John Woo. I'm a very big fan of him. I just like those like mix of martial arts, and he's done a lot of like cop type movies. But it's that pairing. That's when we're talking about when it's something it's so out there from left field. You're like, okay, that might actually work. This will probably appear a prime example in contrast to Robin Hood on how you do a reboot.
Right. And he's rebooting his own movie, so that's pretty cool.
But that's what I'm saying. He's not going to rehash the same thing. It's John Woo. He's going to get creative with it.
Well, the best way to describe John Woo for the people who don't know, Martin Scorsese to crime drama is John Woo to action movies.
Yeah,
like seriously, like nobody does action better. I have yet to meet somebody do action better than John Woo. Like,
I mean, at one point he directed a video game for Sony.
Yeah, I mean, nobody does action better than John Woo.
Yeah, it's fun,
hard boiled.
He loves slow motion.
Yeah, he's the one who kind of everybody always
he made slow motion cool.
Yeah, everybody give the Matrix a credit for that, but no, that was Woo and the Wachowskis.
The double guns and everything.
The Wachowskis just built on it.
Was a homage to it almost.
Which they're smart.
Yeah, but no,
they gave credit to him. It ain't like they.
Oh, I mean, everyone knows this shot. The jumping to the side and shooting the gun in slow motion. That was John Woo. Everyone knows that shot. There's never a movie or a video game where that's not cool.
I mean, like I say, just like Carpenter to horror movies,
John Woo's to action, kind of like,
and Wes Craven to horror. That's John Woo to action. Like, so to see him with Lupita after the success of Black Panther, I think they're kind of piggybacking off of that momentum. Yeah, because she really hasn't did many action movies.
No. She's done a lot more drama related.
Yeah, that's what she is. So,
and even her action in Black Panther wasn't that ramped up as it probably could have been.
Nah, it was mainly Daniel Guerrero, Okoye, and
which makes sense because she's in The Walking Dead, so she probably embodied that action role. It made more sense to people. But I'm interested in it just on the John Woo fact alone. But the man's a genius in his own right. She's a great actress. Yeah, she's gonna put seats in. She's gonna fill seats for sure. And then John Woo fans are probably gonna. It doesn't matter what he makes.
But you remember the movie's about an assassin who actually shoots out his wife's eyes, and he works on a hidden crime to get it back.
Yeah. So
will it be will he go that route where the assassin wife shoots out maybe her husband wife?
Well, see,
these days in Hollywood, another woman, Well,
that's what I'm saying.
Nothing against that. I mean, I'm just saying.
With the casting of she is casted, right? She's officially casted.
Yeah, she's official.
Okay, so with casting her, do you think maybe he's just using that title? I mean, like, is John Woo? He's probably not opposed to changing the entire story.
That'd be cool.
Like their premise,
he might have some elements.
That's what I'm saying. There might be some elements of the original, but he's probably going to flip it on his head and write the movie according to her.
Yeah.
So, he is that kind of director. Well, depending on who he casts, the movie gets changed.
But I guarantee y'all, she will be bulkier than Black Panther because Marvel kind of can depend on the CGI special effects. John Woo has special effects, but he's a lot more practical.
Yeah.
So she's gonna have to put on some.
It's gonna be similar to Alicia Vikander from Tomb Raider. She had to bulk up for that role because yes, there's CG shots in it, but for the most part, it's just her with a bow and arrow and fighting hand-to-hand combat. So you can't, and she doesn't have a suit on. She's wearing her t-shirt and pants. So she needs to actually embody the role.
And I'm super excited for it because you don't really see pure action movies anymore.
No.
And I think somebody with the combination of John Woo and Lupita, that would draw people in.
Yeah, it's such a weird, but it's almost weird, but makes a lot of sense at the same time.
And, you know, and they're going for that international market, that kind of Black Panther hit hard. So hopefully this can help bring back the, like, I like pure action. Like, that genre has died so much. If it's one thing I knock against comic book movies, it's kind of killed that genre, because people think comic book movies
are action, and they're not.
And a lot of comic book movies are not action. Ant-Man was more of a comedy. Doctor Strange was more of a, you know, kind of
They're
weird,
almost borderline crime dramas some of the times too.
Yes, yeah. Now if a character like Steve Rogers, he lends himself to action pack, so his movies could be considered.
That's the beauty for those characters.
Consider action, but in Iron Man, those movies are not great because of the action. It's because of the dialogue, the interaction.
The interaction with the story, everything.
And how cool the suits look for kids. But they're not really, you know, so
they're not action flicks.
See pure action come back is pretty cool.
And a cool thing about it is The Rock, whether you hate or like The Rock, he's almost borderline kept that genre alive.
He has.
But by single-handedly, really. Well, I say there's a lot of things go into it, but you know,
he has.
He's kept it alive, and I think, and the
way that even though I don't like the franchise anymore because it's fell to the wayside.
Fast and Furious.
They kind of kept it alive too, but he's saying as far as one singular actor, or even director, it's The Rock.
It's The Rock, because he's continued to show they make money. Obviously, we're not stupid. We understand that The Rock is the one that's probably selling those tickets. It's not just because it's an action flick people want to go see it. But it's the way those companies work. Whenever they want to put the production companies want to put the money up for something, is they look at other genres and that from other studios. Did they make money? How much did they spend? I'm sure they're making that phone call. Hey, how much? What was the budget on this movie you made? And what was your profit margin? Mm-hmm. And I'm sure that little personal phone call from CEO to CEO is like, we did this, and it gets greenlit for other movies. So when you see success somewhere else, it lends itself to seeing more of it, and Hollywood wanting to do a little bit more with it. So, plus it's John Woo, so he's probably one of those people outside of because he makes a lot of movies. He still makes a lot of movies, but they release more in the Asian market. And for him, this is him coming back to American film.
That's tight. Yeah.
So he's one of those people, he can kind of disappear for a little bit, do his own thing in Asia, and come back and make some movies.
I'm excited for it.
So it's kind of like Jackie Chan. Whenever
what if you make a cameo? Let me stop. I'm fanboying. But Lupita been bae for a while, so.
But nah, it's gonna be a fun movie. I'm excited about it. Just the John Woo alone. Plus he does his martial arts style in a lot of movies is ground. It's not super flashy, but it's very brutal.
Let me ask you this. John Woo is a smart dude. He's his own visionary, but do you think he'll use some of the stunt people from Black Panther, like the trainers, kind of to still work with Lupita, but add his own aesthetic to it?
I see what you're saying.
Because out of all the characters, her weapon was the most ninja-like. Like John Woo.
But she was also... Lupita she's African.
Yeah.
Do you think he will lend his style? Yeah. He will combine an African fighting style with his own fighting style. Oh my God! I hope he does that. John Woo, have you ever listened to this?
What's the style? It's what's his name used to do it on Tekken. It's kind of like that. Oh, okay.
We'll think about it later.
We're geeking. Geeking.
But nah, if they do like an African fighting style,
he does need to do an African martial art.
Oh my God, that would be cool. That would be it. That would be cool. That would make sense.
Okay.
We'll stop. We'll talk about it when we have more news. We know nothing about this movie other than who's directing it and who's casted in it.
Yeah, we're tripping.
So we'll take a look at it here. And then the last thing is Infinity War tidbits. So I'm just gonna we'll talk about a little bit more about the movie, and then because he's the big comic book guy, then we'll kind of just talk about what theories you feel will come into play in the next movie, or even future phases for Marvel, but not near future phases, things like that, and just kind of get after what didn't we really talk about last week?
Well,
and again, spoiler. This will have spoilers.
Well, we didn't really talk about what would the repercussions be. Like in the movie, it once they went to the what's that character's name? Played by, I'm usually good with names, but his name misses me. Played by Peter Dinklage, the dwarf.
Oh, Sindri.
Yeah. So if you look, they kind of tease another gauntlet there. So Nadal's talking about my theory. My theory is that Ant-Man, because he wasn't in the movie, will go to the quantum. Because right now, all that's left is the OG Avengers.
Yeah.
So I believe that Ant-Man will go to the quantum realm. And, well, with the help of Ant-Man, they'll enter the quantum realm and somehow go back in time to retrieve the stones and get another gauntlet.
Yeah.
To kind of try to reverse everything the best you can. Because once in every movie it says this, once you deal with time travel, nothing goes back fully the same.
A TV show I watched called Eureka kind of explored that, where like they didn't do any changes in the past, but even though when they came back, everything was different.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that's where I think they're going. And I think each Avengers member, because remember, it's 6 stones.
Yeah.
And it's 6 OG Avengers. So
that's true. Maybe they find a way to have one individual, because remember, these are regular people. You have to be almost godlike being to handle the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
You maybe think that when he goes to the quantum realm, he finds a way for everyone to use an Infinity Stone.
I think whether you remember, you don't have to be godlike if you have the gauntlet. The gauntlet, you remember the
gauntlet suppresses a lot of the powers.
Yeah, so I think each one, and I think ultimately
that's what I'm saying. They split up the gauntlet somehow to make it.
I don't think they split up. I think each one retrieves a stone, and ultimately Tony wears it. That's just my theory.
Yeah.
And Tony is definitely the Soul Stone. If my theory is correct,
because he's the soul of the franchise.
Yeah, Tony would definitely be the Soul Stone. So
maybe the Infinity Gauntlet breaks or is faulty or something, and that is how they kill off Tony Stark.
Yeah.
That'd be other than having somebody kill him, he dies doing a great act, because like you said, they've been teasing. They teased it in the very first
Avengers. Yeah.
So it's good. And then another thing was what were we talking about? Is Cassandra is the last dwarf, right? Thanos killed them all.
He wiped them out.
So that right there probably would be his motivation to, because he said, we regret it. The biggest regret I have is making that gauntlet.
Mm-hmm.
That might be his motivation to make a new gauntlet.
Right.
Is to correct his first mistake. It's interesting to see that happen. Let's see what else. I feel like, let's see.
It's a lot.
Did we talk about? I'll kind of talk. We'll start with the end of the movie. Really. Is there's no King of Wakanda. Did we talk about that last week?
Vaguely, I believe.
I think you and I talked about it outside, but we didn't really talk about it here.
Yeah. There's no. He's right.
There's no acting king now because T'Challa went bye. So it's interesting to see, because M'Baku, we didn't see M'Baku. We just assumed he's still there.
M'Baku was fighting along T'Challa.
Oh no, but no, he was in the movie, but he didn't disappear. That's what I'm saying.
No, he didn't disappear.
Yeah, so he's still there. We already know that he's a strong presence. This movie could be rewritten, by the way, because people really loved him in Black Panther.
Yeah.
Where he does become the king, or even Shuri becomes king or queen.
I think it would be more Shuri.
Yeah.
Because she becomes the Black Panther in comics.
Oh, she does? Okay.
So I could see them going that route, which leads into Black Panther 2 when T'Challa comes back.
Yeah.
Seeing his little sister to have his role.
Yeah.
And she don't look like she wanted. She'll definitely be a reluctant Panther.
She won't want to do it. Yeah. It'll be Okoye who's ringing her in and really kind of helping her out. I just thought about this. Instead of what's Lupita's character? I'm Nakia. I remember how you said that she might end up being the villain, because you remember, like I said, they come back and everything's the same. Let's say Shuri becomes queen, and Okoye is there to help her. But when we come back, Okoye is probably the bad guy. Or is that just too? That's me overthinking it.
Ooh, that's too much. You can't make Okoye a bad guy. She's like a fan favorite now. Her and M'Baku.
That's what I'm saying. Why not make her the bad guy? You see what I'm saying? Bless you. But that's of course theories. There's nothing that I've seen in the movie to make
Nakia
that.
finally takes the mantle of Adora Milaje. Because remember, she left and she kind of looked at the suit like, I don't want to put this on.
Yeah.
Maybe she puts it on again because she's like, we really got to protect Shuri too.
Yeah.
T'Challa, somehow T'Challa comes
because
back.
now we're not looking at it from a physical standpoint. It's more of a it becomes political at that point. There's powers that be that want to overthrow her, and now that the throne looks weak.
Which leads, okay, now let's go to another theory about that. We're all breaking down the theories played out with the movie. If you've seen it, you know what happened.
Yeah.
So
if not, you're probably lost right now.
Does the Ant-Man and the Wasp happen? We assume it happened right at the events of Civil War, which the director said that. But is it how soon after the events of Civil War?
I think it takes place kind of like the after credit scene in Avengers. We literally saw them going about their day, and then it happened. So this was all happening, and it just had happened. And this is Ant-Man. It takes place in Atlanta, right? Right.
I know the movie was filmed.
It's not New York. It's filmed in Atlanta.
I think this one takes place in Cali, right? Then he moved it out.
It is Cali, San Francisco.
Yeah, he moved out to Cali. Yeah,
the original setting for the first movie.
Yeah,
which they changed. Okay, yeah, so that makes sense. So we didn't hear anything about California, about them, because there was no Infinity Gauntlet there, so nothing, or Infinity Stone there, so nothing was. So they probably never got invaded. So to them, they're probably. I wouldn't be surprised if they pass by a TV and you see some.
But I think everybody got invaded because half the universe with that snap. Oh, you're talking about before the events.
Before, like the end of Ant-Man might literally be the same as the end credit scene. The end of Ant-Man might be people disappearing.
And he has a quantum realm.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like he would have just achieved quantum realm, something like that, and then boom, everyone starts disappearing.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying? I think that's why they're not clear about it. Because if you make it,
and Janet is in the Ant-Man and Wasp trailer, which was okay, by the way.
But
it was okay.
Oh yeah, that did come out, didn't it?
It was okay. Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It was okay.
It was okay. I mean, they're purposely not showing anything. They don't want to show anything.
Especially
that's why I'm thinking that this takes place like within like the same week as Infinity War.
That would make sense.
That's what I'm saying. If he's in the quantum realm, they probably try to get in contact with him. You're not going to get in contact with him.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying? It's one of those things. If that was truly going on, they probably weren't actually physically able to get in contact with him. So I think they're not saying anything. They're being vague on purpose because they don't want to show you that, hey, he was in the quantum realm while this was happening. That's why he didn't disappear.
Yeah. Then they tease Captain Marvel. So we'll see how she comes about.
Well, yeah.
That's the one I'm lost on. I don't know how they're gonna do it.
I don't. Why this man has a time traveling beeper.
Yeah, Nick Fury.
Nick Fury. It's so that's an interesting concept. Speaking of that, they did leak. There were some leaked photos on set of a young Nick Fury in Captain Marvel. He actually looked like what's his name from Triple X.
And he looked like his character from The Negotiator.
Yeah,
with Kevin Spacey.
Yep. Because remember, Nick, he's bald. He wasn't bald in these photos.
Yeah.
And it's weird. The man's been bald for years now, so it's gonna be weird to see him with hair again. So I would suggest watching a movie where he has hair to get used to it. Otherwise, you're gonna notice it's fake. That's just fair warning. But it's there's a lot to unpack, man. Like it's just like last week. My mind is 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's a lot, man. It's a lot to unpack.
They got a lot in there. Let's see. Is there any other fan theories? Well, not really fan theories.
Well, a lot of people say they're all trapped in the Soul Stone.
I don't like that theory.
That theory actually makes sense, but me personally,
it seems meh.
It's a cop out.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It seems meh that really what happened, because then they were like, because I think the people who want that theory to be a thing
want to bring everybody back.
The people who actually died, they want them to come back. And hey, guys, I'm sorry, they're not. They're done. They are Kevin Feige. This is a Band-Aid being ripped off. They're gone.
Gamora and Loki gone.
They are gone. They are not coming back.
And if they come back, I'm not gonna be one of these people who hot take. I'm done with the MCU.
Yeah,
but it's gonna drop.
it
If they do it, on that line,
it shows they're scared to make those big decisions.
Yeah, so if it does, the level of anticipation for my viewing of MCU movies will drop.
Yeah,
it will.
Won't be done with it. We'll still go watch them because they're still fun in general. But that right there, the investment won't be there anymore. It's you guys got to understand. They got to rip the Band-Aid off. They can't keep rehashing characters. Yeah. You got to bring in new people. So be prepared for this second one. You thought the first one stinged. I get that vibe from them. There's nothing in their interviews, nothing. These characters are done.
Pretty much said they dead.
If you see them again, it will be in some type of flashback scenario.
I think that's what they're doing. They're cleaning the palette with what we know. So Loki, Thor, Cap, Tony, Natasha, where she's getting her own movie, but I think even her own movie would be more of a prequel.
Yeah, her movie that's 1000% a prequel. Or actually, no, that's a prequel. It's 100% a prequel.
You think it'd be 100% a prequel?
100% a prequel because
Hawkeye. I think all their stories are gonna wrap up in this next.
Because for the most part, whenever she wasn't with the Avengers, she was with Steve the whole time.
Yeah, so I think her story's gonna wrap up.
Yeah, you're gonna see her relationship with Hawkeye and everything, and see that dynamic. Because they were borderline. There's almost like a love triangle between her,
and
Hawkeye, and the
whole. Move on, man.
It is time to move on.
It's ran its course.
You gotta rip the Band-Aid off, move on, and get on to the next thing. That's the best way to do it. Yeah. And like I said, the way these characters died was symbolic. It made sense. They went out the right way. Their deaths meant something. Like, it's so rare in these kind of movies where the death means something. They're not just dying.
It hits.
It hits.
Like when he tossed Gamora, I was like,
you saw the emotion in him and wanted to do it, but you also saw that he truly wanted to correct what he felt was wrong in the universe. And he was. It hurt him. You could tell it hurt him. He did not want to do it.
Well, once Mantis prayed it, he was hurt. He was.
Yeah. And if I remember correctly, he threw her off with his regular hand, not the gauntlet.
Right.
So I don't know if that's probably looking into it too much.
Yeah, I think you're looking too much.
But also the death with Loki, the biggest, baddest thing they've been building up for 10 years, killed the best villain in the MCU. Mm-hmm. So it made sense. Basically, popped his eyeball.
And half of the people they wiped out is the old crew because they want to establish. They want to end this. That's them telling you,
be ready.
Yeah, we're in this chapter, and then when they come back, they'll be the new chapter.
Yeah. Now we're not saying all those characters are gonna die.
No. We have different theories for that, but that could go on a long 30 minutes. Like, for example, I think Thor is gonna take over Asgard. Yeah. A new Asgard.
There's gonna be
he'll be the all
retire / things
I think
happening.
Steve gonna go back in time. I think.
They're gonna go back in time to fix something.
I think Tony gonna die. I think Hulk and Banner gonna finally split up, which would lead to maybe World War Hulk down the road. Yeah. But that's all theory. Yeah. So
it's like I think Banner will probably still be around in the MCU, but more from that kind of like is it Hank Pym?
Yeah.
But more of that old grizzled scientific, like from a technical standpoint, he will be contributing quite a bit. Because in the MCU world, he is one of the greatest minds in the MCU.
Yeah, he's like
he's up there. At least
top five.
Top five, yeah. So it's an interesting concept to see, but just if you're a fan of the MCU, man, I get you. I understand. You never want to see something you love that much go away. These characters are going to go away. They're either going to die or you're going to see them in a more of a cameo-esque role where you see them for 2 minutes on the screen, or another character mentions their name in passing. Yeah. It's
time to move on.
It's time to move on. It really is. Got to rip the Band-Aid off.
And I think the success of Black Panther helped that.
That's what I'm saying. It kind of showed, okay, people respond well to a new cast.
Yeah. And a new world.
A new world, yeah. So it's plus you gotta understand there's certain people that you're gonna see for sure, like the Guardians, they're probably not going anywhere. Well, outside of Gamora, but like they're probably still going to be there. So not everybody's going away, but some of the people that we've just been introduced to the last like 3 or 4 years, they're going to be taking more of a front and center. Like Ant-Man, Doctor Strange,
Spidey.
Let's kind of break down. Let's break down our new Avengers, not the full cast, but like just your main ones. So Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Carol, Ant-Man,
Peter.
I mean, that's right there.
Yeah, that's it. And the Wasp.
And the Wasp, yeah. So, I mean, that's going to be that'll probably end up being your Avengers right there. Doctor Strange or Black Panther, either one of those being the leader.
I think it would probably be Carol the leader.
Really?
Captain Marvel. It makes more sense for her to be the leader.
You're right. You know what? You're right, because she's also... Because
T'Challa got Wakanda.
Because she's an alien, technically, right?
Well, she gets mixed with Kree DNA.
So. Okay. Well, that's what I'm saying, that her knowledge of the universe is great.
And not only that, it's because she's military, kind of like Steve was, connected to Fury.
That's true.
And then Doctor Strange is obviously the Tony character. Then you got the poster child for Marvel, Peter.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
And then my personal favorite, Ant-Man, Paul Rudd.
Yeah, so, Ant-Man and the Wasp. So you have them, and
you'll have.
But I think Carol be the leader. I think I look at
that makes sense.
On a more grounded level, T'Challa is the Thor character. He's Thor.
Yeah.
On a more grounded level.
Because he's very traditional, but
family, Asgard, Valkyrie, Dora Milaje.
And now that I say that aloud, he can't be the leader. If our theory is correct, he's going to be running a country, so he can't really be the leader of the Avengers. I think the Avengers Towers will be based in Wakanda, though.
You think that move? That's actually a pretty good thing.
That'd be cool. That'd just be cool to me.
That's actually a pretty good theory.
Like a secret city base. That's
the new Avengers Tower in Africa.
It's based in Wakanda. Yeah, absolutely.
That's actually a pretty good
Kevin
theory.
Feige, if you ever listen to this podcast, I want a trademark next to my name on that if that happens. Okay,
it ain't gonna happen. But they probably already had that idea thrown out. It's just the fact you put it in the air.
You never know.
Yeah, I don't. But that's a good theory. I'm not taking nothing
and
away
it would
from
make sense.
Theory.
They have the resources there. One of the biggest reasons why Tony left Queens for the Avengers Tower was because the resource. Like it's just like.
But my question is to you is this:
it wasn't safe to have it in Queens. If that made sense.
Yeah, my question to you is this: after these events with Killmonger, then Infinity War, will T'Challa even allowed at this point, or really become more reserved?
There's also a good chance that Shuri makes it happen, not T'Challa.
Shuri ain't gonna touch it. Shuri's gonna ride with whatever.
What I'm saying is the Avengers are gonna go to Wakanda by default in the second movie.
Well, they're already in Wakanda.
No, all of them is what I'm saying. I think at one point they will all be located in Wakanda.
They're all in Wakanda except Hawkeye
and Ant-Man.
Oh, I see.
That's what I'm saying. Like right now, they're not there. At some point, they will be.
Well,
it'll be the unofficial base in Infinity War 2.
Yes, she'll have to bring Vision back. I don't think Vision's now. That's one character I don't believe is permanent.
She was almost done. I wouldn't be surprised if who he is in her database.
Yeah. Now that's the one person who actually died in the movie that I don't think is dead.
Yeah, because he died twice.
Yeah,
he died twice, which is that right there also hit pretty hard for what's the Scarlet Witch's character is she basically saw the person she loves die twice, one time by her and then another time by Thanos.
Yeah,
that's an interesting concept, but we'll see. I'm excited for it. We could probably keep talking like this for another 30 minutes.
It's a lot to unravel, but
we'll cut it off. We'll rip the Band-Aid off since we've been using that. But yeah, no, we'll be back next week, episode 22. What movies are coming out? We have
what's the name of it with Gabrielle Union?
I can look it up real quick.
Yeah, that one's gonna be really kind of fun. I'm not gonna say great, but it looked fun.
Yeah, let's pull it up real quick.
Yeah.
That is January. Where's May? All right, so that'd be the 11th, right?
Yes, it would be
Beast.
No. Breaking in.
Breaking in.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. That's one I want to. Yeah. Okay. That's one I told you that I'm actually semi excited for because it seems pretty cool. Because it looks like someone who she can't fight, but when it comes to her kids, yeah.
So. And
then I'm actually excited to see this one right here. We probably won't touch it on the podcast, but Jim Carrey's Dark Crimes. He plays like some Russian investigator, and people are talking about like
Oscar bait.
Like his Oscar work from him. But yeah, really, that's nothing else.
So we'll probably be back next week with breaking in.
Yeah, and then we got Deadpool. Then it's solo Star Wars story.
Think about this,
man.
Then before we head out, Disney. People, we're not even in June yet, and Disney might have $3 billion+ movies.
Oh, Disney did a 4-year movie run financial gain in 6 months.
But what I'm saying is like they're literally gonna have Black Panther, Infinity War, and Solo. I think Solo's gonna make $1 billion.
Infinity War, if anyone doesn't know this, has already hit $1 billion, and it hasn't been out 2 weeks.
And I think Infinity War, I think Solo's story is gonna be a leggy billion. It's not gonna hit it right like
it's gonna take about a month and a half for it to get there, but it'll
Black
get there.
Panther, but it'll have legs.
Yeah.
Because it's Star Wars.
It's Han Solo. Even the people who are like, well, I don't want to see a Han Solo movie like that, those people are going to go see it.
Yeah. So.
That's a franchise. People who say I'm done with that franchise, you're not done with that franchise.
No, it's just like Pottermore. People complain about Fantastic Beasts, but they'll be there.
You will keep coming back time and time again, whether you want to or not.
No, I say that all the time, but the only one I might be serious, and then we're out of here. But the only one I might be serious on, I truly don't think I could watch a Yoda. If they do a Yoda,
that doesn't seem good. That doesn't even move.
It takes away from the total intrigue of the characters.
I was want to say there's certain characters you don't want to know anything about them because that's what's cool about them. You know nothing. Your mind fills in the blanks.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, anyways, that's that. But we'll be back next week. It's been a good podcast. It's been real. Peace.
Peace.